Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. You are watching the second game of day 29 of 29 days. Yeah, that's right. This is the last day of Season 8 group stages. We already know who goes to Kiev, which 4 teams have made it to Kiev. You can also see that back, of course, here in the scores, as we today have got a game right now between OSG Gaming, who you see standing on 13th position. And that's a bit of a scary position. I'll soon explain why. And flip side, who is sitting on last position. So it's a game between teams on the right side of the rankings, and a fairly important game. I mean, flip side still has 2 games to play today, and the bottom 4 of StarLadder gets dropped. So can't go back. You get dropped to Pro Series. The 2 above that, so that would be number 13 and 14, go to regulation matches, and that's something that OSG can still escape if they win their last 2 games that they have today. It's also something that Flipside wants to work towards, as in if they win their last 2 games, they will at least have to play regulation matches without getting kicked out of Star Series without an excuse. So that's going to be the deal for this game, as we do have ourselves Flipside on the dire side, OSG Gaming on the Radiant side. Some standard bans getting put out there with the Visage, the Timbersaw, as well as the Alchemist and the Bristleback. Elder Titan, first pickup for Flipside. Interesting first pick, as we saw him in the previous game getting completely ignored. But, you know, teams have got different preferences, as, well, we see OSG Gaming one there. It looks like, I mean, normally they go for 2 dual lanes, and they already have picked up one so far. I mean, Bane Mirana, that's an awesome combination to have already. Having that Nightmare to set up for the arrow, it is quite brilliant. And we're going to see what Flipside picks up together with their Elder Titan. Now, wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Crystal Maiden come out, as we already have got 1 strong support banned, 1 support already for OSG Gaming, and supports are kind of heroes that are still getting banned out fairly frequently in the second banning phase, so you kind of want to secure yourself at least a solid one. And indeed, there goes the Crystal Main, so not too much surprise coming out from that one. Well, we'll see what they end up banning out in the end. I mean, right now both teams have got themselves an offlane and a support, assuming that Mirana and Elder Titan are offlaners. Something that we can still see banned out is solo laners. It really all depends on what what both teams are expecting from each other. But of course, all mid heroes are still in, including OD, which is a very strong one. Wouldn't be surprised to see that one removed. And we also, of course, have got those heroes in like Clockwork, which I would more expect on the side of Flipside than on anything else. But they already have an Elder Titan, so perhaps we're just going to see that ignored for now. They're taking their time again, though, Flipside that is, thinking about this next ban. I have to say, I mean, we saw Flipside in the previous game. They looked very strong.
Radiant team ban.
I mean, okay, they did not win their game. But then again, they were up against Na'Vi, but they really were able to hold their own for quite a long time. They had good rotations. They had solid supports, solid farm as well. Maybe a bit too much hand and Midases and maybe a bit mispositioning, but we can consider that a warm-up game. I'll forgive them. As the Clockwork still gets banned out, by the way, so I guess, you know, my first thought was the right one. The OD still removed. I mean, that was one that we were expecting still. OSG Gaming is the one that has the first pick. So they have the option to now ban out something that they're going to pick up the counter against. As in, ban out the counter of the one that they're going to pick up. And indeed they do. They ban out the puck, pick up the Storm. Now, Storm is a pretty decent hero, but I mostly prefer Storm if he has someone to combine up with. Now, be that a Lifestealer, that would actually be best, or maybe even a Nature's Prophet, who's still in the pool as well. We'll see what they end up going for. I do like the Storm Stealer combination, though, but then again, Flipside still has the chance to pick up that Lifestealer as well. I might just want to pick that up to deny it to OSG Gaming. Although, thinking about carries in general, Flipside, they might want to go for something like a Luna for themselves. I mean, they have the option to put something in the jungle, and if you go for an early push, you create a bit of space for an Elder Titan to farm a bit more. I mean, I'm going to assume for the moment that he is an offlaner. And that would mean that if they have a safe lane Luna with a Crystal Maiden supporting and an Enchantress in the jungle, that once they start pushing, that Elder Titan will be up against only one, and they can actually try and make something happen. It all depends on how OSG Gaming is going to lane this as well, though. As I said, they can go for 2 dual lanes, and Flipside do pick up a Luna, so I really like this. I mean, Elder Titan can do fine on the offlane, don't get me wrong, that's why he is the offlaner, but that's because he doesn't need that much gold early on, he can do fine with just levels. But if you do can get him some extra gold, that's of course a great help. We'll see if they also secure themselves an Enchantress with that, or Chen in that case. As OSG Gaming still go for the Nature's Prophet. I mean, I mentioned him as one of the heroes that can pair up nicely with the Storm Spirit. You can zip in and teleport in at the same time, of course. Still space for a Life Stealer as well if they want to, but that's already decent. I do like when I'm right. But then again, who doesn't, actually? Yeah. For Flipside, let's see what they pick up before we go into the banning phase. I mean, if they do think about the Enchantress, they don't have to rush it, because there's still Enchantress, there's also still the Chen and Enigma in the pool, all of which are great with the Luna Aura, of course. Maybe Chen has a bit more delay about when he is going to be able to go into pushing mode. Needs a bit more levels, needs to get 2 creeps rather than maybe just 1. He can make things happen with 1 creep as well, but 2 is just better. And we'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing Enigma as well, as I said. Also maybe
5 seconds remaining
to have some extra team fight potential. They've got decent team fight, but well, this is a lot of team fight actually. Silencer, I wasn't expecting that one, but I really like it. A lot of control coming up from that one, and of course very strong against Storm and Bane, most importantly. Stopping Fiend's grips, and of course not allowing Storm to do his thing. Like Storm, his thing in fights is zip around, overloads, static remnants everywhere. That's his thing. He needs to be able to move around and create those procs. But can't do that when the silence is on, and therefore he's kind of useless once that silence is there. So we'll see if they can actually time that properly, because that's what it's going to be all about, timing. And of course, if Storm Spirit gets up an Orchid fast, then he can silence a Silencer before Silencer silences. Yeah. Cool. That works. Dragonite, the last ban for OSG Gaming. Sorry for that. I just confused myself a bit. And Chen is the last ban coming out from Flipside. Looks like they are still expecting Moran on the safe lane, Storm off Nature's Prophet on the off lane, Storm mid, and then Bane supporting, and then of course still having space for the jungle hero. And we still need a mid hero now for OSG Gaming as Silencer. I'm assuming he is support. We've seen him mostly as support. We have in the past, very long ago, we seen him played by Scandal in the middle lane, but that didn't really work out all too well. So we'll see. I mean, it's most likely a support, but they can you know, throw a curveball, put us off guard.
Reserve time.
Reserve time for OSG Gaming. Something that they haven't used that much during this draft, by the way. As you see, Flipside still has only 1 second left. Used most of it, but OSG Gaming only used a small portion of it, and will now use their time to think about what they want to go for. Go for a line in the end, so they've got some extra disable, which they could indeed need, but also a hero that really suffers against the Silencer. So we'll see if that is the right choice. If it proves to be the right choice, then again, I was earlier talking about the silence stick, as in the Orchid. If Lion gets in and hexes Silencer, he's silenced as well, so that's pretty decent, and they can just nuke him down. And there's the Magnus. That's gonna be our middle laner. I have to say, mid lane Magnus versus Storm. It's not the best matchup for the Magnus, but he should be able to live and get experience, and that's the most important thing. And actually, with the bottle crowing, he will be able to get some gold as well. One thing they have to worry about, though, which they're probably gonna do because they did it in the previous game themselves, Nature's Prophet, if he actually gets himself a courier snipe, that has a very big impact. We saw that in the previous game, where Dendy was the Beastmaster. He was forced to walk back to base at some point, purely because his bottle was empty, and he couldn't refill it with the courier. It's very simple. And therefore was not able to stay in mid anymore. Let's take a look at who is playing what, as we do have got the start of this game. We've got OSG Gaming from the Radiant side. Ink Visitor will take on the Lion. He'll be supporting on that one. Taking a look at yellow, Zonder will play the Bane. Also a support role, of course. Scooby-Doo, Storm Spirit. I was expecting him to go mid, but it looks like we might have a Mirana in the middle lane as Chomi is already sitting ready for that one. And we'll leave the Nature's Prophet played by Big Num. He'll be going on the Nature's Prophet, and I think that's one of the things that we often see when they're support in the pool. Sorry, not support, I mean when they're stand-ins. You're kind of forced to give the stand-ins the lanes that they're used to rather than put them on the roles that are missing. And Scooby-Doo in this case is a stand-in. And Big Num, the one that normally is the one to carry, will therefore play the off lane. Scooby-Doo is the one to carry here instead. Taking a look at flip side. They will be fighting from the dire side, No Fear will play the Elder Titan on the off lane. Also picks himself up some boost, just like the Nature's Prophet. Should be at least getting some experience. Against Storm Spirit, it's not the easiest lane for him, but like I said, experience should be doable depending on how aggressive Inquisitor is. But then again, Inquisitor, he's a lion, he's one of the most squishy supports, if not the squishiest support in the game. He's actually squishier than the Crystal Main, by the way, for people wondering. Is that true? They have the same amount of health, same amount of armor. Lion has got a bit more movement speed. Yeah, they're even. Apart from the movement speed. But anyways, we have in the middle lane, we have got ourselves Aloha playing the Magnus up against the Mirana. Not an easy lane. I mean, I already mentioned that he should be able to get levels, but that was against the Storm. Against the Mirana, it's a bit more difficult. Then again, Mirana's last hit damage is really low. That's why she got herself a race band, and that will help her out a lot, as the attack damage of Aloha is now a lot lower with that Enfeeble coming out from Zonder here to help out in the middle lane. Should be putting Aloha, like he has almost got enough gold for his bottle. He really wants to go for that last assist that he needs for the bottle. Shockwave will be helping him out with that, but he's gonna be able to get it. Nice one. That's his bottle ready. Should be okay from this point onward. And Light will play the silencer here on the top lane with Chill on the Luna, or Let's Chill rather, on the Luna on the safe lane up against that Nature's Prophet. And last but not least, it is the Crystal Maiden who is smoked up. He's got a frostbite. Looking for a kill. Looking for a kill on the Nature's Prophet. Let's see if they can make it happen. Or perhaps looking for a courier snipe. We saw them do that in the previous game. They might want to try this again. They know that there's almost a bottle up on Mirana. They know that she soon has to buy something. Wonder how long Crystal Maiden is going to hang around there for. So far, nothing happening just yet. We do have the Bane sitting close by. Crystal Maiden, all he has to be is careful. Then again, keep in mind that Crystal Maiden actually needs 2 hits to get the courier down. We'll see. Chomi has got enough gold. The courier is on his way. Crystal Maiden is still sitting there. Let's see if he can make it happen. There he comes. In comes Book as well. 1 hit. Oh, hit missed. And that's not going to be a kill. Or, yeah, that is. No. Yes. That was close, though. Arrow comes in, still hits. This might be first blood. Nature's Prophet teleporting in as well. They want to go for this. They have a Starstorm. They will be getting this kill. 1 more hit needed from Chomi, and that's going to be a first blood right there. Too bad he can't get the courier to bring him some new shiny items with the newly acquired gold. A courier for first blood, it's not a good trade, but it is as best as a trade as you can get. At this point, giving gold to everybody in your team for giving some extra gold to Mirana, but she can't use it, so she can't use it to get some advantage in the middle lane and delaying the bottle for Chomi. I'm actually going to put that in favor of Flipside, to be honest.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
By the way, I do see the chat, but if there's something like urgent,
thanks you
have to let me know in like more clear than what you do right now. Maybe send me a tweet, because I also see some tweets during the game. If there's some kind of issue somewhere, and I will be able to be aware of it. This Luna is going to be a problem for Oslick Gaming. Wonder if he's going to go for a Hanamitis, as we saw a lot of Hanamitises in the previous game. Crystal Maiden, what are you doing? I was jungling. Shouldn't be dropping too low from jungling like this, though. Oh, man, fight! Man, fight with a troll! Seriously? Oh, heal troll. We can't man fight with that troll. Pops a self. He's gonna have a self ticked up. Oh my god, that's a waste. Oh my god, that actually happened. the meantime, Magnus sitting at level 4 here on the middle lane. Mirana as well, which is interesting considering that Zonder is also stealing some experience. Zonder, who's actually going to fight Crystal Maiden. Nightmare comes in. In comes no arrow, but the brain step will be there. And this should be a kill. Buick can juke this out, which he can. Not one more hit needed. Boom, you're dead, Buick, for the second time this game. Aloha won't be able to do anything anymore. Might be... No, Chomi can't really get in range anymore either. Just Aloha walking back towards his tower, and we'll be fine from this point onward. As we have the courier of the Radiant side respawning again in a minute. That will mean that Mirana has got her bottle in a minute's time, and also will reveal what she's gonna buy with that gold in her inventory. Get some boots. Would be nice. For now he's saving it up. Not even buying it to put in his stash. Silencer getting some gold on the small camp here, and in the same time denying experience to Nature's Prophet. By the way, this Nature's Prophet is still hanging around on this top lane, which is surprising. I mean, he has got face boots ready, which is great. You know, he has it ready should there actually be a courier. I mean, he's got 11 last hits, but I have to say I was expecting him to rotate into the jungle already earlier, because he can't really stop Luna from farming. Can't really slow her down, and he would get more in the jungle, in my opinion. But still hanging around. Has to be careful though, because Buick now comes back towards the top lane as well, realizing that he might have been caught out a bit too often to be wandering around by himself. 1600 gold for this Mirana now, as we do have a kill going the way of Storm Spirit. Scooby-Doo was able to get the first kill here on the bottom lane. Elder Titan going down. That was the level 6 complete for Storm, and allowing him to just jump around. Level 3 only for the Elder Titan. He's really not getting anything on that bottom lane right there. Taking a look at the levels overall, Crystal Maiden is lowest though. Crystal Maiden is lowest. By far, level 2. Flip side overall, not the one that is doing all too great. Now they have a level 6 of their own. On the Luna, they have that Eclipse, so should Nature's Prophet be caught up by himself, then he is going to be dead. A dead Nature's Prophet. So far he's actually, I mean, still, he's hanging around. We have the courier back, by the way. In the meantime, looks like we... Oh, wow. No. No RP coming out from this Magnus yet, because he's not level 6. That's something that Chomi is. I think if he was level 6, he might have been able to go for that, but no. Just some back and forth right there. He actually got a hit on the tower as well. Or sorry, not on the tower, on the courier. But this time it was a flying courier, so that one was going to be... Okay. Chomi pushing the wave out, indicating we might see something being used here. I'm just want to point out that Chomi actually did not go for the Moonlight Shadow at level 6, which we often do see now that the mana cost is so much reduced. It's very usable especially for more aggression, but not going for it just yet, so we'll need a while before we start seeing Oslick Gaming making some movements happen. We know from the past that Oslick Gaming, and even though they've changed their lineup quite a bit since then, don't get me wrong, but they mostly play well reactive Dota in a game like this, where they're waiting for Flipside to make the first move, and then they're going to use that against them. So would come in with teleports and mass, and then just take out Flipside in their own attack. So we'll see if that's something that they want to try here as well. They will now first not defend their tier 1 tower, and we actually have a rotation coming in from the Magnus. He has his RP. There's only one Bane there, but you know, a kill is a kill, and that is always a good thing. As Enlight is the one to take the kill, get some intellect from that as well. Laughs about it, which is great and all that. It wasn't a first RP use, but it doesn't matter. A kill is a kill. That's needed. Your rotations have to be successful. If they were to let that one go, well, can't really afford that, to be honest. Can't really afford that at all. In the meantime, Storm Spirit going for an Orchid first. We were expecting that already. We have Inquisitor almost level 6 as well. Also, the gaming, they've got this lineup that,
Radiant's top tower is
you know, if you look at the heroes, you think, oh, mid-game heroes. We're gonna see an active game, but they have not gone for mid-game items. So we are seeing Mirana for a Hand of Midas. Like I said, the Orchid for the Storm, and before they all got their core items up, which for Mirana might just be phase and treads, or sorry, phase and drums, or treads and a Yasha or something like that. and for the Storm the Orchid, I mean, they might just be waiting quite a while for them to be ready. On the same at the same time, flip side, they've got a Luna sitting on 2,400 gold. Might be going for a Helm of the Dominator first, or depending on what he wants to. No, Helm of the Dominator it is. So also going in for the long haul, starting to stack up some Ancient Camp with that as well, perhaps. We've got a Magnus that probably wants to get a Blink Dagger before he gets more done, apart from just single target ganks. We do have a rotation with Smoke now coming in, with Scooby-Doo leaving his lane for the first time. We'll see if he can make something happen, if he can slow that Luna down, but this Luna knows that something is up, so she's hiding in the tree line. There might be a Remnant. I mean, the Smoke does get popped. If they put a Remnant up, they will see it, but we'll see if they attempt this. Observer goes down at least. There's the Remnant. They see her now. I wonder if he can zip him out to the other side. Vortex him to the other side. There's a Fiend Script at least. Might be possible. They'll go for Buick first. Moonlight Shadow coming out as well. But Scooby-Doo is dead already with the RP coming out. Global Silence used for the first time. Xander is able to get away, which is great for him. And of course Lion getting some solo experience while his while his Storm is away. Shockwave sent Chomi on his way still as well. And they just... Not Nature's Prophet. TP in towards the bottom lane is a Silencer. Won't be able to get Inquisitor anymore though. And we do indeed have 5 ranged heroes coming out for Most Like Gaming. Hey, despite not having a Hand of Midas, this Luna is highest farmed hero on the map. I mean, he didn't even get the first blood. That went to Chomi as well. I mean, last hit by is 55 to 16. Not bad at all. But 69 for the Luna. I mean, that's just, you know, showing who's boss. Magnus, on the other hand, 35. So we can compare him to the Mirana, which is quite sad. Then again, we knew he was there for the experience. And we knew that he wasn't going to get that much farm. He wants to get the farm now, though. He really wants to get that Blink Dagger so he can be a bit more aggressive, even though he already has been involved in 2 kills, of which 1 he actually took for himself. Nature's Prophet still looking to go for his Hand of Midas as well. More farm. Fairly passive game at this point. Both teams just really wanting their items up. We have got another gank coming up, though. Buken and Light, not the best gank potential. They will be able to get it though. Should be able to get it. Looking for the vision. Can't find the vision, and that's gonna be a TP out. Did nobody have a tango? I mean, they could have placed a ward in that. Placed a sentry ward in the middle of that. Teleports toward the bottom lane because we have a big dive coming out. Storm Spirit has been able to take down the other Titan. Shockwave coming out. Inquisitor still getting an last word up on himself. Might actually die from that. Let's see what. Yeah, he will die from that. Scooby-Doo will get himself out though. He's just fine. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, there is a Fiend Script coming out for the Luna, which is of course a great target to take down. And Nature's Prophet will be in there as well to help take the last kill. Nice pickup indeed. Surprised they didn't take the Nature's Prophet down.
Middle tower is under attack.
In the meantime, first tower to go down on the side of flip side is Mirana will take that one. And is now on par again with the Luna, and better yet with that Midas that she has off cooldown. She will get ahead on net worth by quite a bit. And of course Luna can't farm at the moment, or couldn't because she was dead. So that's actually a pretty nice lead that she's got right now. Scooby-Doo already rotating around into the enemy jungle again. Won't be fighting Enlight here. Enlight level 7, by the way, which is a very decent level for a support silencer, especially if you consider that the safe lane Storm is level 9, so it's only 2 levels behind. We now also have the Blink Dagger up on the Magnus. We do have Luna in a bit of trouble again, as she looks to be ganked up once more. There is no people around here for Flipside. They're all hanging around middle, and it will be Luna taken down for the 2nd time in a row. Storm this time with the kill. And they can't afford to have this happen. Flipside, that is. They need to be providing some protection for this Luna. Luckily, she didn't lose that much gold because she was able to buy items before she died. But they just can't afford it. It's too much. No fear, go for the mechanism for his team. We'll get hexed up. Starstorm coming out as well. The RP, looking for it. Silence is already there. Chomi won't be able to leap away anyway because he doesn't have mana. Kill still goes to the Creeps and No Fear on the Lion. They were able to take him down, but the most important target there, Morana, was able to get away. In the meantime, the pressure is on the top lane as well, which will be the second tower for OSG Gaming. And now officially they have their 3 cores ahead of net worth compared to the 3 cores of Flipside. Better yet, I'm going to call it 2 cores on Flipside because No Fear would be one of those cores, but his net worth is just very far behind. Taking a look at who's going to get the mechanism for OSG Gaming, doesn't look like anybody right now. We do have the Necronomicon being built up by the Nature's Prophet, also by the Silencer, by the way. He's going for the same item there.
Dire's top tower is
And we have got
attack.
Storm almost with his Orchid complete.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Never mind. Random Belt of Strength in inventory. 4 staff there first, and same story for the Nature's Prophet. They both do the same thing. Having the items in their inventory for the Necronomicon and ended up going for the 4 staff, so that's 2 extra 4. As we have got OSG Gaming with those towers taken down. Only one tier 1 tower left standing, will not be for long though. But with all these towers taken down, they have gotten a fairly decent gold advantage. Going towards a 7k in their favor. 7k experience in their favor as well, as they have of course 2 more kills. But most importantly, they are just farming everywhere on the map. I do like Flipside's map control in terms of wards though. I mean, they've got one on the Roche Pit, in the mid lane, and on the top lane. This one is about to disappear though. But they do need to get some priorities right. They do need to either stop them from taking towers or get things in return for them, and they're really not getting either at the moment because they're not farming on the top lane, not farming in the middle lane, not farming ancients, and they're just letting OSG do whatever they want to. And now this Lion, support Lion, has got a Blink Dagger already. He is higher than the Elder Titan and the Silencer and the Crystal Maiden. And of course Crystal Maiden, not too much surprised about that. Crystal Maiden is actually still level 5. Too much unsuccessful roaming for her, though of course getting the courier definitely worth a level. They do leave the Roshan alone in the end. No one that Flipside is around. With the smoke, with the blink on the Magnus, and they finally want to make a difference. They get only one, but it is the most important one. Storm Spirit, nuke down. Maybe they get a tower off the back of that. That would be actually kind of needed. Otherwise, it's not really all that successful. Wow, this arrow hurts. That's a level 4 arrow. Mechanism will keep him safe. So when Global Silence comes out as well, Chomi, he'll go down from that one. Elder Titan with the last hit. Zonder, not gonna fight this. He does have that Fiend Scrape up, but the only one around him is Inquisitor. So they have to give up the tower. In the meantime, Nature's Prophet is split pushing and is laying down pressure on the tier 3 on the bottom lane, forcing out a teleportation from Enlight and perhaps for more after that as well. As the sun comes out on No Fear, they weren't able to deny the tower though, but might be able to just take down at least one. Nah, they're not gonna try. Just trying to slow down the push. As Enlight by himself was able to stop the push on the bottom lane right here. And with the heroes back up, they want to farm. We have got Scooby-Doo farming bottom. Nature's Prophet teleporting bottom after, or teleporting top after being bottom, of course. Has got that Hand of Midas that he still has to use, and is now going for the Necronomicon finally. But overall, at least Flipside got themselves something out of that smoke ink right there. I mean, they used 5 targets. They kind of couldn't afford not to get anything out of it, of course.
Over here now.
Enlight, Orchid it. There will be a Frostbite though. And the mechanism keeps Enlight up. They go for Scooby-Doo. He's very low on mana actually as well. He is trying to get some more mana, but he is now out. One more bottle charge, it's all he has. The silence is still there. Nature's Prophet thinking about teleporting in to help him out. The Moonlight Shadow will be there as well. The Frostbite will still come out, but that's it. 4 staff into safety from the Nature's Prophet. At the moment, by the way, Radiant Sight does not have any wards up anywhere. I mean, yeah, they might be hiding ahead in gold. But they don't have the map control that comes with that head start. Crystal Maiden, trouble. Keep in mind, there's a Blink Dagger on Inquisitor. His initiation power is mighty strong. And we might actually have a Blink Dagger coming out on the Bane soon as well. They do lack a
Dire's
mechanism
top tower
builder though,
is under attack.
which is something that I hope is going to come out soon as well. Might be on the Bane. We'll see. No, he goes for Blink Dagger as well. Oh, Luna. Careful there. A lot of people from OSG around, and they go for him. They sprout him up and hex him up as well. But in comes the res. The Global Silence coming out as well. They want to take down Inquisitor first before he can do anything. Success achieved. Looking perhaps for more as Zip in from Scooby-Doo. The Eclipse comes out though, and Scooby-Doo gets the Vortex up, but it doesn't matter. Zonder getting picked up as well. A double kill for the Eclipse of the Luna. They look for more. Mirana has already used her leap, but will be able to get away regardless with the extra movement speed from that leap. It is 3-0. OSG too greedy and going in blind. That was the main problem right there. They didn't know that everybody on Flipside was around there. That is why you need those wards. The split push wasn't there either because of course Big Num was involved in that fight. He was the one to start it all off. Did not die of course. He has a teleport. He can get himself out. Oh, he does have his Necronomicon ready right now. But with that fight, Flipside gets themselves a Roshan. Very much needed Roshan to be exact. Luna is very rich though. I'm curious to see what she's gonna do. If she's gonna finish up her Manta style. Wow. Hello Lion. RP of like everybody jumps in after the Aegis is already down. The Starstorm still does a lot of damage. Buick actually might be dying for one brain sap. But Zonder will go down for a minute as well. Moonlight Shadow is not gonna help. In comes an arrow. Actually still hits up on the Luna. One more arrow needed. That's gonna be an Aegis already burned. Jomi though running for his life. Bottle charge will keep him up. Last word's not going to be enough. Elder Titan still died in that as well. And actually, in the end, it's a very worthy trade for OSG. I mean, yeah, they don't get an Aegis. They don't get a Roshan. But they do... they do get the Aegis. As in, take the Aegis away from Flipside. Jump in a bit, die a bit, fair enough. But worth it overall, I think. Yeah, for sure. Especially since Nature's Prophet got some extra pushing time. And almost now has this tier 2 tower top down. And actually looks like he will be able to get it. There is still a fortification.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They'll use it and force Big Num out with it. We'll see if that's enough. Teleporting coming from the Magnus as well. And now he knows for sure that he has to go. But the deny is not there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Mission accomplished by the Nature's Prophet. BKB up by chill. Let's chill. He was able to do that with the gold for of the Roshan. Big Num. Necronomicon already sitting at level 2. His split push is going to be more and more annoying. And at this point, Flipside, they have to start worrying about getting some towers of their own because they can't really trade, which is something that you're going to look towards. I mean, if that Nature's Prophet continues split pushing, which, you know, undoubtedly will happen, you have to start thinking about, well, if we can't kill him, we have to deal with a split push, then we're going to look towards trading things. So, him pushing in top, taking a bit of health away from the tier 3 tower, but you don't want to trade for tier 2 towers for tier 3 towers. No, you want to trade tier 3 towers for tier 3 or even Rex if you can. Or a 4-man wipe on the side of Oslake Gaming, but they can't do that yet. They will take a tier 1 here, the last one standing on the side of Oslake Gaming. There is a fortification, but yeah, it's not going to be wasted on the tier 1. Perhaps they can get themselves a tier 2 off the back of it, which would be great. Like I said, they really need to do that. Oslake Gaming at the same time does know what's happening, so they're going to push on their own accord, push in the middle lane. Want to take down the tier 2 middle, which is the most difficult tower to take down for the Nature's Prophet, because split pushing is just easier on top lane and on bottom lane. Middle lane too easily accessible for everybody. And drums actually used as well. In comes teleports though, but a tier 2 is still gonna get traded.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Even the push on the side of Oslake Gaming was a bit faster than the push on the side of Flipside by the looks of it, which is interesting considering their lineup, and Nature's Prophet wasn't there in the middle lane. But Mirana just with the build that I like most, Face and drums. I mean, I don't like the Midas, don't get me wrong, but Face and drums, I do like that, and 4,300 gold to boot. We'll see what she ends up going for with that one. Normally, you don't necessarily build a BKB on the Mirana, but I wouldn't be against that in this case, because The global silence, as well as just the eclipse, it's all too much. And you know, you're still gonna get caught out by an RP, fair enough. At least if you are the one targeted. But at least you won't take any extra magical damage from that, and then you only have to worry about the physical damage coming out from the Luna, who right now is not doing that much just yet. Her bouncing blades are the most scary thing of her right now. And her eclipse, that is, but of course that's countered with a BKB. So yeah, I would like to see that on Mirana, but we'll see. As I said, normally Miranas go for a bit more aggressive items, a bit more damage items, because that's also something that they need. They don't really have that much damage. Nature's Prophet might do some later on. Storm is doing some with magical, but physical damage? No. They lack that one. As we have a tier 2 tower. Looks like Flipside is outsplit pushing the split pushes, because Oslick Gaming is nowhere near any tier 3 tower right now, while Flipside is already knocking on the door of the base. An arrow will fly, only hits on a creep though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they're gonna force out a teleport. Nature's Prophet even can't help this one. As in terms of split push. He's way too far away from the base. It's a Manta style. Still for the Mirana, so no BKB for her. Then again, Manta style will still also, the illusions will tank up some of the eclipse damage, which might be decent. We'll see if that's actually used that way. Because of course your illusions will be disappearing straight after. Manta style, of course, also one of those items that once you pop it and you're gonna get RP'd, your illusions will die as well. There's a lot of AoE damage coming out from Flipside. BKB is picked up by the other one. The Magnus. Looking solid, looking good. Nothing can interrupt him from going for a good, decent RP now. And again, they have best map control at this point. They've got wards in the enemy jungle. They've got wards near the Roche Pit, in which case they're scouting out Chomi. Whoa! That happened. Needed to wait for the Hex. But that's an RP on cooldown for 100 seconds. They also have got wards in their own jungle, and for the Radiant set there's only one ward, which is on the top lane. But that's it. By the way, the Aegis has disappeared. Or at least it was already gone, but the Roshan will soon be up again. And we'll see if Flipside is going to take it again. I would imagine that Oslick Gaming, I mean, now that the RP is on cooldown, might actually try to fight, but it doesn't look like it for the moment. Perhaps they're just pushing, putting all eggs in the basket of the split pushing, but... Well, for the moment... Well, for the moment their split pushing is not really going all too well. Let's put it that way. And the Hand of Midas is there. That's great and all that. Or sorry, not the Hand of Midas. Necronomicon level 3, but... He hasn't been able to get that far. And I mean, it's not like Flipside has got the best counter push in the world. They've got decent counter push, don't get me wrong, but... I don't know what's wrong. Perhaps it's just they can pick up the Nature's Prophet in a kill. Looks like they're gonna try. And they won't be fighting him anymore, though. He's already backed off. But those bouncing blades are, of course, very decent for counter pushing, as you can see. He's going for a butterfly, by the way. The Luna, that is. Looking solid. BKB still on 10 seconds as well. Just like the one on the Magnus. And his RP is off cooldown again, which is good. After whiffing him. They're actually making drawing a line right now on the bottom lane, looking to push it in. Same time, we already have Big Nam pushing out the top lane, but that one will be counter-pushed by the Elder Titan as well as by the Crystal Maiden, who then won't be in the fight here on the top lane. But I'm not sure if they need him. I mean, these are the biggest factors in a team fight. They've got the Eclipse, the RP, and the Global Silence. You can't fight that. Like, you can, obviously, but even if Oslick Gaming goes in on 5, if you get caught out by a 5-man RP, you're still gonna die. They're not gonna try though, at least not for the moment. Perhaps waiting for the next Roshan, which will be up in about, well, this is about 1 minute, 2 minutes time, but a little bit less. And that's the BKB ready for the storm. after the Orchid having that BKB, like I said, is very important up against the lineup of Flipside. Still something that I'm expecting around at some point to build. But, I mean, she was right to build the Manta style. They need the damage. They don't have damage, apart from magical damage yet. And right now, with everybody building BKBs, the magical damage is not going to get you anywhere. Especially not with the next coming team fights, where the BKBs will still be on 10 seconds. Oh. Arrow misses. In comes the Skewer. Doesn't get something though. Doesn't get an RP at least. But Luna already with her blades gets herself a kill on the Lion. Show Me has still got a leap. Might be looking to use it, but Nature's Prophet is actually teleporting in. They want to try and do something here. They want to maybe take down a Magnus, but he blinks and TP's out. Luna gets arrowed in the face. Will still have her BKB, but can't do anything else apart from just stand there and die. Doesn't have the TP there. Tries to buy as much as she can before she dies and actually finishes up her Butterfly, which is great. But she is dead. And that is, that was a bit unfortunate. I actually thought that maybe Flipside was going to be able to make something happen, but... Well... Didn't have everybody there, of course. No Fear was pushing on the bottom lane. Pushing the lane out, and Silencer wasn't there, even though he did use his global silence. So they didn't want to go for anything risky. And now it's still the Magnus, of course, alive and kicking. Still no way for OSG Gaming to push in, because the scary thought that you might be getting RP'd is still there. Roshan up. I am a bit scared for OSG Gaming though, because it is not going fast. And the Magnus does have that Blink Dagger and an RP up. And OSG Gaming apparently also a bit scared. I don't blame them. This was very risky of them to try. I was just waiting for that blink to happen, but Roshan is left alone, down to half health. I think that OSG Gaming just has to give it up. They might be trying to steal it with the storm or something, but it's not going to be likely. Nature's Prophet in the meantime pushing top. Looks like he has a hate train coming towards him though. I know that he's still there. He's already gonna run away. Which will be fine. Meaning that the Roshan... yeah, they're gonna go again now that Luna is scouted out top. Of course, Magnus is still fairly close by. And they should be able to take this. And or should be able to blink in. Where's that blink? That's just illusions. In comes the stomp. They see them. Global Silence coming in as well. RP up on 3. Freezing Field coming out as well, but just on the edge. They do take down those 3 though. They do take down those 3. The Elder Titan ulti coming in too late, but the Roshan taken by Flipside, and that is why you do not, I say again, do not try to take a Roshan when there's a Magnus with a blink close by. It's just not, like, no. No. It's just no. And they also already stopped the push on the top lane, so they're not getting a tier 3 or some damage to a tier 3 in return. You just can't do that. Was a bit expected. Caught out. Caught out is what I say. And actually, Nature's Prophet bought back for that. And he can't farm. Like this is the nerf coming into play. He gets the experience from this, but he doesn't get the gold. And therefore he's actually taking gold away from his teammates, which at the moment are only support, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but it's still, it's a big deal. As we now have a pause coming out from Flipside. Elder Titan needs a moment. 2 minutes actually, like a long moment. Well, that one's empty. Goldgrave is back at the 0 line. OSG Gaming was of course in favor for a long time because of those early towers that they were able to push, and of course also because they didn't rotate around as VIII like Flipside at some point did. But right now the Goldgrave back to 0, Experience Graph back to 0. Flipside, they have the stronger lineup at this point, I believe. Especially their late game potential is way better than that of OSG Gaming. The big thing that OSG Gaming has still, of course, is pick-off potential and split push. But neither have been very successful for them at all. So, I am not really sure if that is gonna be something that can pull them out of this game. And to be honest, I'm happy for Flipside. Like I said, they are at the bottom of the list, and they have been playing very decently today. So I would, you know, they have the goodwill of me to get them a win. We'll see if it's gonna be the case though. For now, of course, it is still in the air. Up in the air. Luna is the highest farmed hero on the map by far. Look at that. Not even with the Hanamidas again. Sitting more than 5, like sitting 6k gold ahead of the highest on the side of OSG Gaming. Which is the hero with the Hanamidas. Butterfly ages. I wouldn't be surprised if Flipside, when that RP is back up again and when their global silence is up again, if they just try to 5-man and take a good fight and go high ground with that. I mean, they have the power, I think, to do that right now. Especially if they catch out someone beforehand, if they catch someone out of position, which they have been able to do a few times. If they can do that, if they can get a pick off, have the lanes in their favor and push in, they have a very good shot at just taking it. And if not, well, then Luna can always send her illusions up the high ground. With the Manta style illusions that is. With the bouncing blades, and just start bashing on a tier 3 tower without putting yourself in danger. It's always worth it. I mean, that's just gonna be giving you free push. And there we have the ready again, as I'm hoping that, yeah, OSG Gaming is the one to unpause. As of course they didn't call ready just yet, but we do have the go again. Let's see those illusions do their work. Bouncing blades already harassing Scooby-Doo a bit. Hex comes in, still has the Manta style there. Wanna wait with the Manta style until the Orchid is done, perhaps? I'm seeing until the Orchid is used, that is, because if it's used on the Luna, then of course. Oh, Vortex coming out, no Orchid just yet, though. In comes an Impale, Earthspike. Now is the Manta style. In comes a Skewer. That's gonna be Zonder in some trouble. Zonder dead. Tower dead as well. In the meantime, Nature's Prophet is trying to flip push on the middle lane. Trying to do what he can. The Bane has bought back. He has still got that Fiend script, but this is trouble right now because these racks are just falling like flies. And there is no way that OSG Gaming can defend that. Perhaps they can get something in return. They get a tier 3 tower in return. Global Silence coming out. It's not over yet. Nightmare upon No Fear, but no Fiend script just yet. No Fear returns on his BKB. Tries to run, but I'm not sure if he can run very far. Enlight, the one without the BKB, will be gone up here first. Earthsplitter, not really doing that much, but oh, that punch comes out still. And the Eclipse, Jomi looks to be bursted down as well. 2 cores for just 1 silencer. Still the Finger of Death will take care of the Elder Titan. Nature's Prophet is already back to base, so he can't continue split pushing, and he already forced out 2 teleports of both the Magnus, who of course did not get to use his RP in that fight, as well as the Crystal Maiden. So there's no continuous push from Flipside, but they took an entire lane of racks, and they only lost 2 heroes for that one. That was a pretty good fight for them, and I mean, OSG Gaming, they could have just let them go. Wait a second, Crystal Maiden, you're so dead. But they lost their Mirana still, who actually bought back, and they lost their Storm, which are 2 very strong core heroes. So that wasn't really worth it to dive for, to just try and get those 2 kills. I mean, they already lost the Rex anyway, so interesting choice to do that, as we do have Luna finishing up her Satanic. Yeah, she is still fat. I mean, I can continue commenting on her build, but she's just fat. Let's put it that way. BKB build on Zonder, they need to get that to counter that Global Silence. I mean, if you want to go for Fiend script, that's all great and stuff, but you want to be able to cast it full. And I'm still curious to see what Mirana is going to build. She just spent a lot of gold on buying back, so she won't be able to buy anything for a while. And she does pop an Invis rune, sees Aloha walking on the low ground here, and might actually try to go here for this Luna, for the other Titan. They have to be careful, however, because there's 4 heroes here. Crystal Maiden is coming in to be the 5th. Flip side, they still have that Aegis, they still want to take down more towers, and they go for the last tier 2 tower standing on the side of OSG Gaming. Nature's Prophet is already pushing on the bottom lane. And because Flipside is pushing middle, he can't really continue on yet on the mid racks. But I'm expecting that once he reaches the base, he is gonna rotate towards those mid racks and see if he can take them down. Considering then he doesn't need to worry about backdoor protection because the creeps would be in the base. For now though, his own base is under siege. Stomp comes out, just slowing everything down, and Arrow comes out on Luna still. She still has her Aegis, still has her BKB, still has her Manta Style. Already starts pushing. In comes the Vortex. That's gonna be Scooby-Doo in trouble. Turns on his BKB, tries to run for it. Global Silence comes out. He will get picked up if he comes back in, and he won't come back in for that very reason. In the meantime, tier 3 tower bottom is under siege. From the side of Flipside, they will take the melee racks and will then come in to defend their ranged racks, which is too late. So at least that's something that Flipside was able to, the game was able to trade. But nonetheless, it's a melee racks versus range racks, which is never a good trade. As in, melee racks is a bit more valuable than the ranged racks. And they still didn't throw the Aegis away. More damage being built up by Mirana. Still not caring about the BKB. Still only caring about needing to have damage. And that is Aloha done. Refresher Orb. We already saw him building that earlier on. And it's no surprise that he indeed went for that. But he has it done right now, and this is scary. He has not died yet the entire game. As the only hero on the map that hasn't died yet. He's got 7 kills, 6 assists, so has been involved in 13 out of the 19 kills, and he's looking for double RPs. There is nobody safe for him right now. I mean, BKBs are great and all, and if you if you get RP'd while in your BKB, you will still. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no backdoor protection coming out for this, which is interesting. I don't know why that is, but well, but yeah. Like, you might be able to survive 1 RP because obviously you'll be immune to your magical damage and all that, but if you get RP twice, you're going to be out of play so long that it doesn't matter because your team will probably have died around you in the meantime. Fought without you, so not all that worth it. In comes the Moonlight Shadow. They want to try and initiate. Do they have a sentry ward to place? Yes, they do. Place it in range of the tower, but it doesn't matter because this tower is going to die. Ward still gets bursted down, but in comes an RP. Ink Visitor, the only one so far though. The Refresher already used. Now I can use the other one for Scooby-Doo if he wants to, but Scooby-Doo is already zipped out. Lion is the only one to die together with the Bane, who dies to the Bouncy Blade. Shomi will be the next one, as the rest gets forced into their fountain. The Earth Splitter will come out. Will not hit anymore, but it doesn't matter. 3 dead. GG is called. Flipside will be victorious here on the second game on day 29 of StarLadder Star Series group stages. We are gonna go to our third game, which will again feature Flipside, and we will be seeing them play against the Retry. There we go, against the Retry. Took a while before my brain to catch up, but yes, Flipside will be up against the Retry. The next game is in about 9 minutes time, so stick around for that one, as we will have a small break before that happens. But I don't think you want to miss it, because of course this is the last day of the group stages, and you kind of need to get your shot at Dota 2, your shot of StarLadder, before we are heading into a 2-week break before we have the LAN finals, basically. So hold tight, we'll be right back.